Hello friends, Wes here checking in. Merry Christmas. Welcome to my Christmas vinyl showcase, I guess you could call it. A video that I've been asked to make many times in the past over the years and just haven't felt I've had enough of a Christmas vinyl collection to really do a video on it yet. But finally this year I've kind of got to the point where I have enough where I can do a Christmas vinyl collection, and maybe in a couple years from now I can revisit this topic and hopefully as the Christmas collection expands, I can have more to show. But I got a pretty good stack here of stuff to share with you. Hope everyone's having a great holiday season, end of the year reflection, looking back on the year in music. It's been kind of an interesting year when it comes to music. Interesting year when it comes to politics and world events. It's the end of the year is really just a time to reflect and figure out where we stand and decide what our goals for the next year are, what changes we're going to make, what improvements we're going to make, whether it's in our personal lives or if it's in our stereo system or collecting habits or collection in general or whatever it may be. Just a nice peaceful time to reflect and look back and think about the future. So really great time, really enjoyable time. Hope you're having a really nice early winter season. Feeling pretty good here in Florida. It's been warm and rainy, unfortunately. Not too much cold weather yet, but hopefully we'll get some more of that soon. So let's go ahead and get into this Christmas vinyl collection. Drag this on long enough. First one we have here is probably the most classic of all Christmas albums, and that is Bing Crosby's Merry Christmas. You got classic stuff on here: White Christmas, Silver Bells, Jingle Bells, Silent Night. Just a classic Christmas album, Bing Crosby. This is one you'll see everywhere. Every thrift store will have this, and it just seems like you can't get away from this one. So it's kind of one of those must-haves, I guess, or not necessarily a must-have. It's just one you can't avoid if you collect vinyl records. So I do have this in the collection. Next up is probably my favorite Christmas album of all time. Ever since this first came out, it was a huge hit, huge Christmas deal. It's been pretty popular ever since. I really, really, really love this, and that is A Very Special Christmas. The very first one that was released in 1987. This was done for the Special Olympics to help support them. And just a ton of just great 80s stars on here. Pointer Sisters, Eurythmics, Whitney Houston, Bruce Springsteen, The Pretenders, John Cougar Mellencamp, Sting, Run DMC, U2, Bob Seeger and the Silver Bullet Band, Bryan Adams, Bon Jovi, Alison Moyet, and Stevie Nicks. Just a killer lineup. I love this album from front to back. This is something that gets a ton of spin for me around Christmas time. I've had it on cassette and CD forever. Picked this up on vinyl at the antique mall nearby me 4 or 5 years ago now, and just it was sort of a grail for me to have this on vinyl, and I'm really, really happy to have this on vinyl. Just a great Christmas album and a classic for me, and as I said, probably my favorite of all time. Yeah, love this. All right, next up is a collection of songs from Pete Seeger. This is Traditional Christmas Carols by Pete Seeger on the Smithsonian Folkways label. Originally released in '67. This is an '89 repress of this. I actually bought this still sealed. New old stock available of this, and picked this up. Yeah, just some really nice, very traditional, Pete Seeger, traditional folk kind of sound, but Christmas songs. So really enjoyable. Love folk music, and happy to have that in the collection. Here's one that you may find in thrift stores often, dollar bins, those kind of things. This is one that I recommend people keep an eye out for. It's one that you might not think to get, or you might pass up without realizing what it is. And that is a Nonesuch Christmas. From the Baroque, Renaissance, and Middle Ages. So that's the style it's in. It's very Renaissance-y, Baroque, Middle Age kind of, very, very classical, versions of Christmas songs. Some stuff you know, some stuff you won't know. But a really enjoyable piece to put on at Christmas time. You know, it's not those in-your-face, very traditional Christmas songs that you hear on the radio or in stores or whatnot. This is definitely a really cool piece to have. And as I said, you can find this in thrift stores, dollar bins. It's a good one to have. So that is a Nonesuch Christmas. Don't know when this was released. I'm guessing the late 60s at some point. But yeah, definitely a recommended Christmas album for me, and one I recommend people keep an lookout for. Next up, here's one that I had looked for a while. This is Psyman with Switched on Santa. Psyman playing the Moog synthesizer, doing Moog synthesizer Christmas songs on here. So you got very traditional Christmas songs done on a Moog synthesizer. It can be not for some people, but I do happen to like this quite a bit, and I was glad to finally find a copy of this. And this was another one I found sealed. I found this one in the wild sealed for a couple of bucks, so I was really happy to find that. I believe I found this at the library sale. So Switched on Santa by Psyman on the Moog. But yeah, cool album there, cool Christmas album. Here's a Christmas album from someone I spent a lot of time collecting in my early days of collecting vinyl, and that's Pete Fountain. This is Pete Fountain's Merry Christmas from Pete Fountain, Candy Clarinet. Pete Fountain is a clarinetist out of New Orleans, plays that very traditional New Orleans style of jazz. Really cool clarinetist, and I enjoyed collecting his records early on when I was starting out. I inherited a bunch from my grandparents, and then, you know, over the times, he's one of those artists that's very easy to find in thrift stores and whatnot. So it was easy to collect Pete Fountain records. So I collected a lot of them. Don't really listen to them that much anymore, but this is a nice one to listen to from a nice collection of Christmas songs done by Pete Fountain. And again, just, you know, very, very traditional Christmas, you know, the Christmas song, Winter Wonderland, Let It Snow, Jingle Bell Rock. There are a few originals on here. There's a song called Candy Clarinet that is the title track, I guess you could say, that is written by Pete Fountain. So yeah, just some nice clarinet, sort of big band style Christmas music. Here's one from the Flaming Lips that people know pretty well. This was released in the last few years. This is Imogene Peace, At Last Each Christmas. It says Merry Christmas from the Flaming Lips. This is sort of an oddity sounding kind of thing. They kind of made it sound like some sort of lost Israeli recording or something. They put this out on Record Store Day on beautiful translucent red vinyl. So that's really pretty, and it's, you know, it's weird, it's out there, it's psychedelic, it's Flaming Lips, it's, you know, it's a lot of different things. It's just a fun Christmas record to put on in the background, and people might not notice that how oddball it is at points it can sound very traditional, at other points it's very sort of freaky sounding and unique, and yeah, really enjoy this. So that's a cool Christmas piece for the collection. All right, next thing I have is the John Fahey Christmas album, The New Possibility, John Fahey's Guitar Soli Christmas album. And of course, John Fahey's a wonderful sort of guitar master, I guess you could say. Some very traditional songs on here, as well as some more obscure kind of Christmas songs. So a nice mix, a nice enjoyable mix, and just some, you know, really good sort of folksy guitar very guitar mastery kind of music here. So very, very nicely played and very enjoyable Christmas album to have. I believe this has been reissued recently as well, but it's not too hard to find originals either. So it's a good one to have. Here's one that no collection should be without. That is John Denver and the Muppets, Christmas Together. So the Muppets have made their return on TV, so that's really cool. Been enjoying watching them, and always, grew up with the Muppets, and just enjoy this. And this is just a classic to put on and have, really cool Muppets and John Denver together doing Christmas stuff. Lots of fun there. Next up, along the same lines, we have another classic here. This is a Chipmunk Christmas. The Chipmunks are just classic, enjoyable, fun, reminds you of your youth, and just enjoyable to listen to these songs. And yeah, really glad to have that. Next up is another recent addition to the Christmas collection, and one I'm glad to have added. Just a wonderful Christmas album, and another one of those ones where it's not. If you don't like Christmas music, maybe this is for you, because it's just a beautiful, wintry kind of album. And that is Bright Eyes, a Christmas album. Very, very beautiful, very somber. It can be a bit, I don't want to say depressing, but just very somber, very mellow. Just very, very beautiful, and just very much a wintry kind of thing. And this one is on Snow White vinyl. Next up is another Christmas album from an artist I collected quite a bit early on in my record collecting hobby days, and that is Harry Belafonte. And this is Harry Belafonte, I Wish You a Merry Christmas. Very, very much a Harry Belafonte album here. Very traditional, folksy with orchestration kind of songs here. Some very traditional Christmas songs, some more non-traditional Christmas songs, but just a nice piece to put on. Nice, very peaceful, mellow, enjoyable Christmas music, and do love Harry Belafonte, and that's a nice one to spin around the holiday time for me. Here's a really great one, great Christmas album. This is definitely one you should be on the lookout for, definitely one you should grab if you see it, and that is the Beach Boys Christmas album. Just a great Christmas album from the Beach Boys. Classic stuff here, and just wonderful music, and you gotta love the Beach Boys harmonizing and doing Christmas music. It just can bring you maybe some warm thoughts for Christmas if that's what you're after. But great Christmas album, and as I said, grab this one if you see it. Good one. And last but definitely not least, definitely one of my favorite Christmas albums of all time. Another one that can be very somber, very peaceful. I really like peaceful, somber sounding Christmas music. As I said, for me, it's a time to reflect on the past, think about the future, and just a really somber time for me to just think about the end of the year, and just think about what I want to do moving forward. So that being said, this is Noel by Joan Baez. Very somber, very peaceful, very just beautiful, beautiful vocals, beautiful songs, and just love this album at Christmas time. It's one to just put on, have a nice drink, and just relax and enjoy the peacefulness of the winter time, and do love that. So that is my Christmas vinyl collection as of now. Hope you all enjoyed this video. As I said, enjoy the season, enjoy the peacefulness, reflect on the past, look forward to the future. Have a great time. Love you all. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all the great comments over the year. It's been a great year. Thank you again. Love you all. Have a happy holidays, a Merry season, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, all that great stuff. Thank you for watching. I'll see you again real soon. Cheers.